So the last video I made discussed the importance of allowing the inner child to express itself. Everyone watching this video has a kid deep within them that is dying to be free, to have fun, and to stop giving a damn. However, while I do think this is an important message, I also think it could be taken out of context. And what do I mean by that? Well, to help me get my point across, I want to take a quick look at a classic Simpsons episode, Bart's Inner Child. The story goes as follows. Homer feels their lives have been stagnant lately, so he decides to buy a trampoline to awaken their inner child. Marge, looking out for Homer's ignorance, suggests it isn't a good idea, and she ends up being half right. He generously allows anyone to jump, but the problem is he's not serious about prioritizing safety, and as a result, people get injured because of it.
I told you this was a bad idea.
All right.
In this example, Homer's attempt to have fun ends up hurting people in the long run, because he has no boundaries and he ignored the risks involved. But to be fair, at least he's trying new things. There should be no shame about acting like a child, but self-awareness is still important. Here's another example. In the middle of the story, Bart steals the spotlight after interrupting a presentation given by Brad Goodman, a self-help guru. Basically, the show's equivalent to Dr. Phil, which is what I'll be calling him from this point onward. In the middle of the lecture, Bart disrespectfully interrupts Dr. Phil's speech.
You see, folks, we're all trying to please someone else. And as soon as you're not a human being, you're a human doing. Then what comes next?
A human going!
Surprisingly, Dr. Phil respects Bart's immature behavior, then asks him what inspired him to yell out that remark.
You just wanted to express yourself, yes?
I do what I feel like.
That's marvelous.
Dr. Phil uses Bart as an example of the inner child. Really, it is the easiest way to summarize children in a nutshell. They do what they feel like. As Bart continues to humiliate and disrespect Dr. Phil in public, Dr. Phil continues to give the lad and his family more validation and attention. He somehow inspires everyone in the room to be like Bart.
Be like boy! Be like boy!
As a bunch of newly formed 10-year-olds storm out of the room, Lisa is pretty much the only one left concerned for the future of their city.
This is madness. He's just peddling a bunch of easy answers.
I think it's interesting the direction they take with this message from this point onward. Sure, following the inner child is great for the characters, but the problem is they all take the advice too literally. They start doing whatever they want, playing the piano in church, but with no practice.
Wait, I can do this.
Shouting immature answers in class, riding around a public park fully nude, etc. This is the definition of not giving an F, which is not a bad thing. You're finally living life. This can also be great for letting go of a situation that feels frustrating. But my point is, at the end of the day, there are still bills to pay, rules to follow, and people that need help. As humans, it's normal to look for a quick, instant solution to a problem. But as Lisa puts it, it's not instant oatmeal.
Ever since that self-help guy came to town, you've lost your identity. You've fallen through the cracks of our quick fix 1 hour photo instant oatmeal society.
For those of you who have no idea what that's supposed to mean, I'll break it down. It might feel good to be a role model for people, especially when all you did was yell out a rude remark for attention. But what happens when literally everyone you know tries to be like you? Suddenly, originality and individuality is missed. Deep down, Bart knows this isn't right. Sure, the do what you feel method positively impacts the characters' lives, but the problem is the fix is temporary because they rely on it a little too much.
I didn't feel like it.
I don't want to judge the rightness of your ego orientation, but my inner critic says you should have done your job.
Following whatever feels good doesn't solve all your issues. In fact, without awareness, it can make things worse for you and for everyone else. It can become selfish even. You can act 10 years old all you want to, but eventually reality will set in that you're still an adult with responsibilities. The end of this episode highlights people avoiding and refusing to do their jobs because they just don't feel like it. That's their excuse. Or resorting to violence because that's what they feel like doing. Therefore, Doing what you feel is great for certain situations, but not every situation. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, or you have to deal with the boredom, the pain, or the frustration that comes with participating in certain activities for something better in the long run. Instant gratification can easily make us complacent and lazy, but not all the time. Long-term gratification can be fulfilling, but not all the time. So the key takeaway for today's video is that balance is everything. Sure, don't take life too seriously, but also don't be that guy or girl who doesn't take anything seriously. As Lisa said, this isn't instant oatmeal. Everyone wants a quick fix to their problems, but there is no shortcut to self-improvement.
Self-improvement can be achieved, but not with a quick fix. It's a long, arduous journey of personal and spiritual discovery.